Alright, YouTube, Sinister Ruler here, and today we're talking about MK11 Geras. Why are we making an MK11 video, you might ask? Well, Foxy and Rio have been doing these throwback videos. I encourage y'all to check that out after this. But yeah, they've been just talking about how broken some of these characters were in some of the older titles. And I know MK11 isn't an old title, but it's getting to the point where a lot of the people in the scene now that are playing MK1 weren't around for like the old MK11 days, like back in 2019, 2020. And some of them didn't even play the game at all. So that's just a video, or that's just what we're going to be talking about today. That's why I'm making this video. It's just it's a cool concept going back and talking about how broke these characters were, because some of them were ridiculous and Geras was no exception. So first things first, let's talk about his buttons. Geras has some of the best buttons in the game. This is a 6-frame poke. Only like 4 or 5 characters had a 6-frame poke, and of those characters, only like one other character had a 7-frame poke and a 6-frame jab. So I think Terminator and Geras were the only 2 characters, if I'm not mistaken, that had both a 6-frame jab and or a 6-frame poke and a 7-frame jab. So his buttons are really good. He also has this 11-frame mid. It's hit confirmable, and he can make that safe. This is just unsafe by itself at -11, but he can make that completely safe at -7. Because there were no 6-frame jabs in this game. I know like Lee May has a 7-frame reversal. A Ghostface can make his stand to like 6-frame. There were no 6-frame punishes in this game other than down ones, so like it was basically safe against the entire cast. He also had like this mid. This was a really good mid that he had. This was another really good mid. Went really far. It was really good on block. People like play the flawless block mind game after that. So yeah, really good buttons overall. He had the best throw game in the entire game because both of his throws left you right now. Oh, I forgot that I had him set to do that. We'll talk about that later, but he has the best throw game in the entire game because both his forward and back throw leave him right next to you. So that means he gets throw loops both ways. It doesn't matter which way you tech, or it doesn't matter which way you tech your throw, because if you get hit by it, you're in the same situation no matter what. So there's no right answer when teching throws against Geras, because when you're mid-screen, if you're in the corner, then like you might decide to escape the corner or whatever, but when you're mid-screen, it's just a straight-up guess. Because either way, plus 15 on block, and you're right in his face. So yeah, he had the best throw game in the entire game, even though he didn't have any escape fail crushing blows. Neither of his throws had any sort of crushing blows whatsoever, yet he had the best throw game in the entire game. So he has really good mids, he has really good throws, he has really good buttons, like we said. So if that wasn't already enough to make him a really good character, because this character at the start of the game was running the game, but he finished like in the last final patch, he was probably like right outside of top 10, if not top 10. He had really good damage, so I'm going to take Geras off a block so we can show the damage. Let me try and hit this first try. So this was the same side combo. He could end in his other ender to do like a little bit more, but regardless, it's like 34%. You can also spend 2 bars with him to do a little bit more damage. Okay, well, if you get the sand drop to connect right there, that would do like 39%, I'm pretty sure. And then off of KBs, obviously he was doing a whole lot of damage, even off of 1 bar. I'm not even going to do the optimal. This is just like the day 1 basic combo that people were doing. Simplest combo, ABC 1, 2, 3. I just spit out 47%. So he was doing high damage for this game standards. So already, amazing character, right? He has amazing buttons, hit confirmable mid, another mid that goes pretty far, that's really good on block, high damage, amazing throws. What else could you even want? Well, I'm glad you asked, because there's one move that Geras had in this game that no one will ever forget. This was Geras' debut, in case y'all didn't know. This is the first game that Geras was ever in. He got introduced in MK11, and this is where people started to like the character. This was probably the most widely regarded, like, good added character. This was the best character that they added in MK11, because the only other 2 were Cetrion and Collector, and no one likes Collector. I'm sorry, no one likes Collector. And Cetrion, it was the Cetrion players who like Cetrion and no one else. But even the collector players were like, eh. There weren't like stands of collector like there were stands of Cetrion or any other character. So there's one move that he had that will forever be Geras' legacy, and they will probably not put this move back because of how hated this move was. Sand Trap. This move was super annoying to fight against. It had 4 separate distances: close, medium, far, and very far. It does 14.5%, so that's already like crazy good. It's 17 frames, so it's completely unreactable. It does hit low, and it's barely unsafe on block. I think it's like minus 19 on block, if I'm not mistaken. Minus 19, minus 24 on flawless block. So, and you're not flawless blocking this move. Like, you're not flawless blocking. It's 17 frames. So yeah, not even ninjas is reacting to this. So yeah, maybe offline, but definitely not online. And you just forget about it. You're not flawless blocking this. So this move is insane. Like I said, full screen, low, 17 frames, basically safe on block because you're not punishing minus 19 from full screen, no matter who you are. Except Geras. Geras could punish Sand Trap, which is kind of ironic. It's kind of funny that he can punish Sand Trap because like he's the only person that can do that. Oh, I have to put him on all. Oh, and the version that he's doing is like the base version. You do have to equip the version of this move that that I have right here. But this is what everybody was running because this is like significantly better. It gives you better Oki. It does more damage. It's just better all around. But yeah, Sand Trap, insane move. It also had a crushing blow attached to it. Let me take him off of that. He had a crushing blow off of this move if you whiff the first 2 Sand Traps. So if you whiff 2 Sand Traps in a row and then do this, it'll automatically crushing blow. And because of the requirement, you could actually combo into it and it would do like ridiculous damage. Oh, I gotta remember how to do this combo real quick. And this is like upwards of 40. Yeah, well upwards of 40. So that's 46% for 1 bar and 1 crushing blow. And you could save most of his crushing blows for like the 3rd round, so that in the 3rd round he was just doing crushing blow after crushing blow after crushing blow. He and Liu Kang were similar in that regard, and I guess Spawn to a degree, where they would just like save crushing blows until the 3rd round, and then they become like final boss characters where every touch is a crushing blow doing like 40%, and then you're dead after a little bit. So Sand Trap was crazy. He also had this move. You could not equip his launcher and this clone in the same variation. Like if you wanted to equip this, you couldn't have this and vice versa. But what's crazy about this is this move is actually... Oh, I gotta take him off reversal. It's plus 1,000,000 on block. It's plus 12. So that literally jails into this. Like if you do it close enough. That's literally like a true block string. You can't even armor. Well, there's no armor in this game, but you can't flawless block. You can't jump. You can't do anything. You can't fatal blow. There's nothing you can do about that. It's completely and totally guaranteed. So the other thing that he could do, if you just don't enhance it or don't amplify this, he'll just teleport. And you can put this anywhere on screen. You can put this close, medium, far, very far. So what people would do is specifically Guru, what he would do is just do Sand Trap. He would put one behind you, do Sand Trap, you know, run away, do Sand Trap. And the second you started to get close, you know what he would do? He would run the other way and then set up another one. And then you have to worry about Sand Trap. And you're over here, you're turtling the whole time because you have to watch out for Sand Trap like the whole time. And then once you finally do work your way in, or you set up that and you're all the way back here and you have to start all over again. So in addition to having the best up close throw game in the game, he also had really good zoning. So you could play this character however you wanted. You could make him a grappler, you could make him a zoner. He really did have it all. So the fact that he wasn't top 5 tells you how insane the top 5 were, but it's also like, wow, this character was crazy good and he wasn't even like one of the best characters in the game. It's crazy to think about. So yeah, his special move was really good. He had the clone. He had sand trap. If you didn't want his launcher, he also had this command grab, this mid command grab. Oh yeah, I forgot I had easy crushing blows on. I was holding the button down. But yeah, this also had a crushing blow if, oh my god, what? If you carried them all the way to the corner and then did that, that would do 30%. You could also combo into this. Bang, bang, boom, boom. And then if you carry them all the way to the corner, it wouldn't do a whole lot of damage, but it would tack on some extra damage at the end. This is also a mid command grab, meaning that you had to jump this. And it also ticked off of a whole lot of different stuff that he had. So it ticked off of that. His stand 2. What else? Down 1, obviously. Down 4. And most importantly, his 11 frame mid. Yes, it ticked off of his 11 frame mid. So we basically had like a true mix-up off of this. So you could choose to get hit by the second hit of this because this is mid-mid. And this is mid-throw. So that's like true mix-up. You have to guess. There's like a certain way to OS it, but it's really difficult. And I didn't see a whole lot of people do that when the game was really active. So it was basically a true guess. And yeah, so he had a command grab that he could equip, or no, this was actually a base command grab. He had a command grab that you didn't even have to equip. As long as you didn't have his launcher, you would have the command grab. But most people were running launcher. Tweety was. I think Burrito Voorhees and like most of the Geras players were running launcher. There were only a few that opted for the more zoning approach because most people would have clone, command grab, and sand pillar, which was another move that he had where he could like summon a pillar out of the ground. But that's another story for another day. The bottom line is, Geras was broken the final patch of the game, and we haven't even talked about pre-patch Geras. Pre-patch Geras was a completely different character. He was a different beast. He was definitely running the game when he first came out. He was like top 3, maybe top 5, but definitely an insane character, way more insane than he was now. So he has this string. This is a meterless launcher in the corner. You can't really convert off of this mid screen. You used to be able to do this into sand trap, but you can't do that anymore. And it also used to be safer on block. So you can see this is -6 on block. This used to be -3. So what's insane is because this used to be -3, this is this is -3. So like to show you, this would be like a really annoying check that he had after his 4-2-1-2 because this comes out in 9 frames. I don't know why it's not coming out, but yeah, that would come out in 9 frames because it's -3, 6 frames, 6 plus 3, that's 9. So 9 frame down 1, and there's not a whole lot of characters with 9 frame mids in this game. It was Cabal, Jackie, and like a few others, but not a whole bunch of characters. And they would have to all worry about, it would trade with 9 frame mids. It would trade with 9 frame mids because of how fast his down 1 was. And you also had the flawless block mind game because everybody was playing like a flawless block mind game after their minus strings because that was like the meta of this game. You do something minus, and then you flawless block it, you get a full combo for it. So we also had that mind game, but he also could just mash because of how not unsafe this was. So yeah, it's crazy good on block. It also didn't used to have a flawless block gap. You could flawless block this in the final patch. They nerfed this like a while back in one of the earlier patches, but there's a flawless block gap here. This used to be 20 frames instead of 25 frames, so it was completely gapless. So this is a gapless 11 frame mid meterless launcher that was -3 on block with a flawless block mind game where he could also mash and make himself like he could steal his turn back. We're gonna ignore this garbage truck outside. It's not even trash day. I don't even know why they're out here, but hopefully that's not too annoying or too loud. If it is, then I'll just cut this out. But yeah, anyway, so we had this, which was way safer on block. This is currently, right now, this is a counter hit or punish crushing blow, which is like the most common requirement for crushing blow in this game. A lot of different attacks do this, so that just means that you have to push You just have to catch them doing something unsafe or pushing a button, and you'll get this to connect. So it's the easiest requirement in the entire game for any crushing blow. This used to also be a counter hit or punish crushing blow. This used to also be a counter hit or punish crushing blow. This is a counter hit or punish crushing blow. He had 4 counter hit punish crushing blows, which is the most out of any character in the game in the entire history of the game's lifespan. So basically everything he had was counter hit or punish, with the exception of his mid command grab, where he like punches you against the wall in the corner. So yeah, he used to just have counter hit after counter hit. And what people would do was just wait until round 3 and then hit you with every single crushing blow in the entire book. Like, and then like they'd hit you with this one, and then they would go and run full screen and wait for you to do anything, and then this one, and you're basically dead. That was 3 crushing blows, you're basically dead. All counter hit or punish. It's crazy. So he had that pre-patch. He also had a faster 111. 111 used to be either 16 or 17 frames. I think like 17 frames. I think this was legitimately an unfuzzyable mix-up. So he has this, which is 17 frames. And this used to also be 17 frames. So this was completely unfuzzyable. So he just had free mix. And what made this messed up was the fact that this has a crushing blow if you land only the overhead. If you only land the overhead of this string, it crushing blows. Which means everybody was just gonna take the low over and over again. Now, the low, of course, was unsafe, but that doesn't matter because people are gonna just take this 38%, or no, 33% crushing blow. So he had unfuzzyable mix. He had a safe, gapless, meterless, does everything for you, does your taxes, folds your clothes, does your laundry. This string just used to do everything for you. They nerfed it a little bit. It's still really good, but it's not as good as it was. So really, I don't think there was anything. Oh yeah, his up 2. I forgot, that's why I had this on. His up 2 used to be 6 frames for some stupid reason. No other up 2 in the game is 6 frames. The fastest up 2 other than his was Johnny's, which was 7 frames, which is also pretty fast. I think they also nerfed Johnny's, but yeah, I think 7 frames was a happy medium. 6 is just ridiculous. That means that it comes out faster than most people's stand 1s. And in case you don't know how the wake-up system works in this game, you had up 2, which was invulnerable to throws and also to jump-ins. So yeah, you also couldn't jump in on an up 2 because it was designed specifically to counter jump attacks, and you couldn't throw it, but you could just do a regular meaty and stuff it. Any button that's not a throw, or maybe an unblockable, I don't know if unblockables work against up 2s, but any regular like mid, high, low, overhead would catch this, as long as it's not a jump attack or a throw. But that's why we had up 2 in the game. Up 2, or up 3, sorry. That's why we had up 3. Up 3, completely invincible. Nothing would beat an up 3. Literally nothing would beat an up 3. The caveat was, you flawless block, or his was actually unsafe. He had a pretty bad up 3, because it did catch you if you were jumping, but like it was unsafe by itself. Most up 3s were safe by themselves, unless you flawless blocked it, and if you flawless block this, I'm sure it's even more, yeah, minus 15 instead of minus 10. So most people resorted to up 3 just to catch more people doing meaties, because it would beat meaties. That's the important part, that it's completely invulnerable and beats meaties. But because his Titan charge used to be 6 frames, it was so fast that it might actually beat you trying to meaty. You actually had to meaty perfectly or you were gonna get launched, because up 2s, they full oh wait, that's not right. They full combo in this game. Of course, I wanted him to up 2 so I could show, but like, up 2's combo in this game, you could see it launch him in the air. You could get like a full combo if you really wanted to. And it would do like maybe 20% if you didn't spend any additional resource. So everything about this character was good. Let's just recap real quick. There's nothing else. There's more that I could talk about, but there's nothing else that like really stands out about him. He has really good buttons. He's had the best buttons in the game since like the game came out. He has a good mid, multiple good mids, more mids than any other character really, except maybe Jackie. Jackie and Cabal have a lot of mids, but he has really good throws. He has a command grab in his other variation that you can, as long as you don't equip his launcher, you'll have a command grab. He has some of the highest damage in the game. He has this really good jump in, which I didn't talk about. No one can anti-air this. So in addition to like being really good on block, like if you flawless block, you can't follow up. But like if I take him off of flawless block, you can see this is plus, even if you do it like really high up in the air. So yeah, he has that. Everything is good. Everything is like borderline broke, and that's why Geras was like an exceptionally good character and widely regarded as like top 10 throughout the entire game. So that is my throwback to MK11 today. Maybe we'll do some other characters if you want to see a specific one. Other than Jack, I don't want to talk about Jackie, but I will if you really want me to. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. So yeah, peace, take care, and Sinister out.